I'm Dr. Sunny Fridge. Welcome to another edition of Rise and Shine with Dr. Sunny. Season 2 is dedicated to helping you unleash your inner speaking superpowers. Each week, you get tips, tools, and techniques to help you become a better communicator. On this edition of Rise and Shine, part 2 of how to turn a setback into a comeback. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, share in the comments below where you're watching from. If you're listening by podcast, please subscribe so you never miss a show. I believe we all have a purpose and the potential to live our best life. My guest is on a mission to inspire us to live better and achieve more. Dr. Willie Jolly has been called the most powerful speaker, singer, and author combination in the world today. He's authored several books, including It Only Takes a Minute to Change Your Life, A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback, An Attitude of Excellence, and Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks. In part 1, I was joined by several fellow Toastmasters and guests for my interview with Dr. Jolly. He shared with us how he began his career.
I put myself through undergrad and graduate school by singing. I sang jingles primarily at that point. Pizza Hut making it great. We work well together. News for and you. BET, like entertainment TV.
He also talked about one of the lowest moments in his life.
And I was devastated because I'd worked so hard to build his business. I'd worked to invest my time and my own resources into helping him build this clientele. But I got fired and replaced by a karaoke machine.
And how it became a defining moment and an opportunity to turn his setback into a life-changing comeback.
I went home and told my wife, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I had this setback, but it was really a setup for a comeback. So I didn't know it at that time, that I had learned that I had to make a decision about my future. And that decision was going to be something where I could either let somebody else make it for me or I could make it.
In part 2 of today's interview, Dr. Jolly shares advice to Toastmasters, entrepreneurs, and rising leaders. He gives his strategy for storytelling success, the value of mentors, and how he has adapted to the challenges and impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on his speaking career. Plus, I'll give you a sneak peek at his inspiring new music video. Sit back and enjoy part 2 of my interview with comeback king, Dr. Willie Jolly. What's your advice to new Toastmasters, entrepreneurs, and rising leaders?
I want to encourage everybody to grow your communication skills, work on your communication skills, and keep getting better in it, and get coaching. One of the things I did was get coaching. I got mentors in the speaking industry to help me, and I invested in my abilities that I get. Michael Jordan said, talent is God-given, but ability takes work. Get coaches and get mentors and work on what God has given you.
You say there are 2 ways to achieving goals and success, mentors and mistakes.
Yeah, both will get you there. One just gets you there with less headaches, heartaches, knots upside your head. Get a mentor. Invest in a mentor. Let me tell you a story. I was a fairly new speaker, and I kept hearing about this guy in North Carolina who was helping speakers become very successful in this business and be able to get 6 and 7 figure annual incomes. And I said, wow, I want to meet this guy. Well, I kept hearing about him, and finally I called his office and I said, look, I keep hearing about this guy. And the lady said, it's true, everything you heard. I said, is so-and-so? Yeah, that's true. So-and-so told me, yeah, he's been there. He was here. Yeah, he came when he couldn't make any money. Now he's a multimillionaire. I said, wow. I said, well, look, I want to come to one of his seminars. She said, well, we've got one seminar left this year, and it's going to be in about a month. I said, okay, I want to come. How much is it? And I'm thinking it's going to be a couple $100, and I could pull it together. I'm a new speaker. I'm only making $150 a speech. She said, it's $10,000. I said, well, what? For 2 days? She said, $10,000. I said to myself, I learned that stuff at home. In my mind, I said, forget that. But the greater part of me said something else. The smarter part of the wiser said, you know what, Willie? There's a price for success. And then there's a cost for not being willing to pay the price. There's a price to go to school. There's a price to go to college. There's a price to go to trade school. There's a price to do anything that will give you a great success story. But then there's a cost if you're not willing to pay the price, the cost of wasting time, the cost of being at the same place next year you are this year. Now, one thing I've learned, you can all make more money, but no one can make more time.
Boom.
So you got to use your time wisely and invest your time. So I said to that lady, ma'am, I'm coming. I got $250 I'm going to send you as a deposit. And that's all I had in the bank, $250. I'm sending you my $250. I didn't tell her that was all I had. I just said, I got $250. I'm sending you the file. I'll get the rest to you soon. I went to work. I begged and borrowed. I didn't steal, but I begged and borrowed. And I got that money up and I went to that seminar. And that man changed my thinking.
Wow.
Changed my life. I went back home, quickly made $100,000. And the next year when he had a seminar, I went and paid for me and my wife. We paid full rate. And when he went up to $15,000, I always got 2 tickets, me and her, and we both went, and I paid and wrote a check. That shows the power of mentorship. Don't skimp on mentorship. Invest in yourself, and it will pay the best dividend.
That's right. Lots of people believe in the results, but they don't want to believe or go through the process. So it's about that process. So we appreciate that. These are some great motivational and inspirational nuggets that you have dropped. Nancy Duarte says, personal stories are the emotional glue that connects your message with your audience. Where do you get your stories? That probably it's probably a big question, but in a nutshell, are your stories, you just make notes, you take notes and you stack them away in your head?
That's exactly right. I have a book. I used to have a book that I would carry with me all the time in my pocket and take a note of a great story, something that just happened. Now I've got, this is our book now.
Exactly. We've got our apps. We've got our apps, right?
That's right. But I learned from one of the greats. Her name is Jeannie Robertson. And Jeannie Robertson talks about the fact that her life is built on stories. And so I'm always looking for new stories. And how do I find out if it's good or not? I tested out my family and my friends. I tell them the story. Hey, I got to tell you a story. And if they go, wow, or ooh, or they grunt, then I know I got a good one. And then I just have to work on it. And I work over it on time until the point that I have it down to a structure. Other thing I do is when I'm speaking, I always start with an outline. And I recommend people to, and I know we don't have that much time, but one of the things I've done over the years is to have a boot camp where I spend time with people, and it's usually in November, and people come from all over the country. And then I do one day program where I teach people about the power of creating wow outlines, where you get an outline that can be your focus. Because see, one of the things I learned that speakers sometimes do is they'll write out their whole speech. And they will read or try and remember that whole speech word for word. The problem with that is sometimes when you're in the professional ranks, people will tell you before your speech, oh, tell me about my speech today. Oh, you got an hour. Okay, great. So you've written out an hour's worth of speaking, okay? And you got it on pages and you're reading the pages. Well, right before, here's what happened often in professional speaking environments. You're getting ready to go on stage. The speaker in front of you went a little long. The meeting planner comes up to you and says, hey, we've got a time crunch. I need you to cut your speech from an hour to 30 minutes. Now be really good, okay? Now you got this paper there, and what do? So I've seen people fall apart. I've seen them crash and burn. So what I do is I have an outline. I always have an outline of my speaking. Okay, and then I just take my outline up on the stage, and then I will pick and choose which story I'm going to put, and I've got my timer, and I'll know at 25 minutes, it's time for me to wrap it up. So I don't have that issue, and I've never worked on a line-by-line speech because I developed the outline process, and we teach that in our programs, how to give an outline program that you can move. It's almost like Post-it notes. You can take the Post-it note and move it around. Oh, I'm going to put this story here, put that story there. And so we've helped a lot of speakers to grow their speaking business. I'm very proud of some of the young speakers who came to me for mentorship. and now they are world class. Delatoro McNeil II,
Mm-hmm.
but Simon Bailey, Hall of Famer now. Walter Bond, former Timberwolves player, who said, I want to be a speaker. He contacted me. He said, I don't know what to do. I took him under my wing. Now he is one of the top corporate speakers in America and in the Hall of Fame because he had coaching and mentorship, and people mentored me and I mentor others. Les Brown mentored me. Zig Ziglar mentored me. Yeah. And so I was able to get mentorship. And Zig, right from Mississippi, Yazoo City, Mississippi. All right.
Finally, how has your speaking business been changed or impacted by the pandemic? Chris wants to know, what changes are you making with your business in response to COVID-19?
If you could see my office, right here is my 2020 calendar. It takes up the whole wall. And prior to March the 1st, my calendar was full all over the world. I speak in Nigeria and South Africa and Australia, New Zealand, Japan. I speak all over the world. And then I had a full calendar. All of it's gone. Everything's gone. It's clean as a whistle. I erased everything because they all postponed until later. They said, we don't know when later is. Might be this year, might not be this year. So that meant all my income came to a screechy halt. But here's what I tell people let's see. You got my Setback, Setup for Comeback book. Mm-hmm. You got my Only Takes a Minute, Change Your Life book.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget this.
Got the Attitude of Excellence book.
That's right.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute. This is an autographed copy too.
And then you got my Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last book with my wife. Here's the book, Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks. And in the book, I say, number one, when you're going through a setback, do not panic. Panic is taken from the Greek word to choke. When you panic, you choke off the air to your brain. You cannot think clearly. You cannot make wise decisions. You cannot make wise decisions. What you'll do is end up making a poor decision. 1929, there was a stock market crash. People panicked. Some jumped off of bridges, not realizing it would come back bigger and better than ever. This too shall pass, and this will come back. So what I got to do is don't panic. Pivot.
Love it.
So don't panic. Calm down. Full stop. Take a moment. Think. Breathe. Now, after you've done that, pivot. Well, okay, now I got other options. So we're going online. We're doing online programming. Today I was in the studio doing the new presentation reel for our new online demo. We're doing my XM show. It's still doing well. My daily radio show is creating income. We do our Monday night Happily Married Monday with the Jollies on Facebook Live. On Monday through Friday is radio. Tuesday, Wednesday, I do recording for the daily 1-minute messages that I do on video and audio. Thursday, my newsletter comes out. Everybody should be on my newsletter. Please go to winwithwillie.com, winwithwillie.com. Sign up for the newsletter and also see some of the free resources we have there. Music, a great music video that's called We'll Get Through This. Lots of resources to help you. All my websites are there, even my speaking website where you can get that. You Can Speak Now is that site where I told you I recommend Toastmasters, NSA, and a couple of resources, as well as there's a program, a 3-hour training on that site that tells people how to get up and going in the speaking business. It's a great resource. It's online. You can download it. So we got that. And then Friday, we do another program every Friday for some of my clients. Saturday morning, I do a free program called the Jolly Good News Report on my Jolly Good News Facebook Live. And then Sunday, I watch church online and I have time with my family. So see, every day I'm grateful and I'm shifting and we're doing more. We're doing music, we're doing motivation, we're doing radio and all of it. And I have not left my house except to go to the grocery store in 6 weeks.
You know what? Sometimes I say, I don't know whether I work at home or I live at work. That would definitely apply to you.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So I'm grateful and we're doing good and I'm grateful. And so I've pivoted. So I'm encouraging you. Don't panic, pivot. I'm encouraging you to be resourceful in these challenging times. Think about creative ways like that music video I did literally here in my home, being creative and resourceful, and then be grateful. It really is about gratitude.
Sure.
The more grateful you are, the more things come your way. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm grateful that we have a house, that we have some resources that we can buy for a little food. I'm grateful that I have a capacity and an ability that can generate money. I just got to think about how to do it. I can use this communication skill for everybody that this communication skill that I developed from Toastmasters to now make a living. I've been doing it this year for 30 years full time.
Amazing.
And been able to sustain myself and put my son through undergrad, law school, and my children and our family be able to have just a great future because I learned a skill that is able to have value in the marketplace, and people are willing to pay me for it.
And that's all the time we have on this edition of Rise and Shine with Dr. Sunny. Again, thank you to my guest, the one and only Dr. Willie Jolly, for part 2 of sharing how to make a setback a setup for a comeback. If you enjoy our programs, if you haven't done so already, please consider making a donation of any amount at wytv7.org to help our CBN broadcasters continue the mission to bring you programming that educates, empowers, and encourages. If you're not on social media, you can find all my shows and podcasts online at wytv7.org/rise-shine. Please like my Facebook page at facebook.com/I Rise and Shine. You'll find tips there to help you unleash your inner speaking superpowers, some you may not have known you have. Rise above your speaking anxiety, rise above your fear, rise to the challenge and opportunity to shine as a better communicator. I leave you with the sounds of an inspiring new music video by Dr. Willie Jolly. It's a reminder that as we continue to go through this unprecedented time of uncertainty and social distancing, that together we'll get through this. I'm Dr. Sunny. Remember, it's your time to rise and shine.
Pull the shades down on the sun. Don't wanna see the morning break to another day. All the words I hear you say. Close the door and keep it shut. You say the pain is just too much for you to take. How do you begin to make your way back to some kind of peace of mind? Let me share with you what's been proven through time. We'll get through this. We'll break new ground, yes. When we're lost within our weakness, hope is waiting to be found. We'll get through this, no matter what it takes. I believe we will, for heaven's sake. We'll get